Jaloja one and all. Hello, my fellow Orvillians, and welcome back to Talking the Orville Live. And today we're going to talk about something very important. What's taking so long? What is taking so damn long, you guys? Well, I have some ideas. I was thinking about stuff. I was thinking about the situation as a whole, and I'm sure many of us might have some different theories. Some of us are like, oh, Disney Plus, what's up? What's going on? Hulu, what's up? What's going on? Why aren't you renewing, blasting us in the face with some news about the Orville getting renewed for a season 4? I think there's a lot of things going on that is making it take so long. And I want to know what you guys think. And I want to say hello to official channel member Curtis Tate, official channel member Archmage Frey, and all the rest of you. And as more channel members pop in, I'll be giving them some hellos as I see it. Right now, YouTube is giving me an alert to say now would be a good time to insert ads. No, I will not be doing that, YouTube. Leave me alone, you money grubbers. Official channel member Jeff B, what's going on? Many more Orville. Absolutely. Archmage Frey re-upped their membership to this channel. This is the 18th month as a Salayan brawler. Hey JP, hope you had a blast with your mom. Live long and Jaloja. I assume the acronym means that. Why wouldn't it? We're in the right place for that acronym. Thank you very much. I had a great time with my mom, you guys. She visited me for a couple weeks. I only get to see my mom, being that I'm a poor person, I only get to see my mom usually just for a couple days every few years. But she came out, she flew out, I put her up, I had room for her, got to spend all day, every day with my mom, make up for some lost time, though you can never really make up for that much lost time, really. But we had a great time. I'm very excited to announce, when it comes to mom stuff, that my mom might be moving out here where I live in the middle of the country. We went house shopping, all kinds of stuff, looking at neighborhoods, looking at houses. I am so thrilled that, fingers crossed, this spring, I'm going to be a mama's boy again. What? I haven't been a mama's boy in a very long time, and I'm very excited about it. Michael Carney, Lord Liverpool, I thought we weren't getting season 4. I'm sure there's lots of people out there hoping to have a scoop that people will click on their channel or their posts saying stuff like, oh, the Orville isn't renewed. No, the Orville is not renewed, but it is also not canceled. And even till this day, this very day, the cast and crew of the Orville are still posting stuff online about fingers crossed for season 4. Seth MacFarlane, for a couple months now, has been openly talking about the possibility of a season 4, but we haven't got that renewal yet. They kept saying, oh, don't forget those numbers. You keep watching, get those numbers up. And we have done it. The numbers, from what I can tell, I don't know the exact numbers, but on Disney Plus and on Hulu, the Orville, till this day, since it premiered its 3rd season, has been in the top, tippity top of shows watched on both of those platforms.
Hooray! Hooray for you! Hooray!
Thank you very much, Mark Lawrence, longtime supporter of this channel. Very much appreciated. We have Jessica and I have our matrimonial trip coming up to Vegas in the middle of September. So all this helps not only keep the lights on, so we can keep doing Orville stuff here on Talking the Orville, but also so we can have an awesome wedding. So thank you very much, Mark. The renewal news would be such a hit of dopamine. I'd be positive for days. I'd be positive for years, but I'm positive anyway when it comes to the Orville. The show is a hit. It's usually in the top 5, top 10 of Disney Plus and Hulu ever since it started its 3rd season premiering. It's got the numbers. I am confident it has the numbers, but they haven't announced anything yet. I think one possibility is they're waiting for Seth MacFarlane to say, okay, I'm ready. Let us not forget, a couple years ago, when the whole epidemic thing started, there was a huge business decision by Seth MacFarlane to take on a huge contract with NBC to make some NBC content, some Peacock content, some P content, like the P Corner. He should have a show called the P Corner. That would be awesome. And he hadn't had a chance because of the pandemic, and because did I say epidemic? Pandemic. He didn't have a chance to really come through with all of that content that he signed on to make for them yet. Plus, he spent a lot of time making the Orville's third season. Right now, he is in the middle of maybe not even in the middle. They might be almost done shooting the new Ted series. You know, the talking teddy bear universe created by Seth MacFarlane a few years ago. They might be almost done filming that, which will, of course, will premiere on Peacock whenever it premieres, and we'll be talking about that here as well because it is Orville related, Seth MacFarlane related, also Scott Grimes related, who's also one of the main cast members of the upcoming Ted series. I'm guessing that Seth is right now, I know he wants a fourth season of the Orville, but I think he's getting caught up with all the stuff he owes people, content that he owes. He's getting through it as fast as he can, and when he's ready, he'll say, okay, Disney / Hulu, let's make the big announcement and let's get started on this thing right now whenever that comes. It doesn't take a long time to make a bunch of regular shows. It takes a long time to make something as cinematically amazing as the Orville, what it has become since the third season. You don't just push out episodes of a show like the Orville. They are movies. They're better than a lot of movies that I've seen. It's the best thing I've ever seen on television, effects wise, and of course story wise. There's lots of great stuff throughout the ages, but the Orville is also one of those universes with characters and storylines that are just absolutely tippity top. And I think that's probably part of the delay as well. They're waiting to announce it when Seth is ready to start working on it. You don't want to announce it and then have no progress on the scripts and the creations of the sets. You know, once it's written, the team still has to put together, what is this going to be? What's it going to look like? What do we have to create? And then they got to film it. And filming it, as we know, takes, even without a worldwide pandemic, it takes a while to film something that huge. And then they got to edit it, and they got to promote it, and they got to get it ready. I think they're waiting to announce the fourth season when they're able to start working on it ASAP, as opposed to announcing it and nothing going on. And the more stuff goes on, the better it is for me and for us, because we can keep talking about it. Every incremental piece of information, piece of news, you know, oh, they just filmed whatever episode. They were in this location. They were at this location. I think that's might be what they're waiting for. Now, keep in mind, I don't know anything. I know nothing about this. This is just me looking at the information that we have at hand available to us and making a theory, prediction, whatever you want to call it. I think that's probably what the delay is. But I feel in my cold robot heart that we are definitely going to be seeing another season of the Orville, and then another season, maybe some movies. You know, 6 seasons and a movie. I think we'll probably have a couple movies, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm just trying to get to that fourth season first. The Peak Archmage Fry says the Peak Corner would be a cool Jay Lee and Scott Grimes podcast, so equivalent to Shuttle Pod 1. That it would. The P Corner. But of course, we can do the P Corner. I can turn Talking the Orville into the P Corner. We're gonna have a special sideshow. We can get guests on here. Now, of course, I don't like doing live guests. I like pre-recorded stuff so you can really get into stuff, and then you know, edit it down to where TikTok-minded people can absorb it in just a few minutes. Colleen O'Brien, even if we get a renewal announcement, it'll still be years before we get to see it. I think that is probably correct. I think, say for instance, it gets the renewal announcement by the end of this year, which is coming up. They get back in the studio in the summer. I still think it would be a little while, you know, having to film it, having to edit it, promote it, and then air it. I think it's a lot of stuff that they do to make the Orville be the show that we love so much. To do it any other way is to make a lesser show. So as we've learned, those who have patience and wait get the best stuff. We got the best damn show over the summer airing in New Horizons. And that's only because we were willing to wait and let them do what needed to be done. We're going to have to do that every single season of the Orville, is to be patient, wait, and let them get done what needs to get done to make the show at the caliber that we all expect it to be. And I blame you, New Horizons. You shouldn't have made it so damn good. You could have just made it a little bit better, but you decided to go full on and make the best show I've ever seen. And there's a lot of okay shows out there. There's a lot of great shows out there, but all those shows, they look like studio products made by a studio. The Orville, I don't feel like it comes from a studio. I feel it comes from the heart and mind of Seth MacFarlane and all the wonderful people that work on this series. It doesn't feel like a studio. Strange New Worlds, I thought was great, even though I didn't see the last 1 or 2 episodes. Thought it was great, but it still felt studio to me. I mean, you can tell me what you guys think, and we all got different opinions. Vendetta Wild, Jaloja JP, Jaloja Vendetta Wild. Geek Flag with Nate Knows, 1973. Good things come to those who wait. I think that is probably the most apt saying you can ever apply to the Orville. Good things come to those who wait. But one thing that will continue is we will be talking about the Orville for no matter how long it takes to get that next season, because there's so much to talk about. And that's what I'm working on right now, is bringing back into full force talking the Orville. I want to dive deep into things about the Orville universe and make some not only a little bit shorter, continue to have fun, a little bit shorter, more informative videos. The next one I'm going to be working on starting tomorrow is this topic right here. Going deep, I'm going to deep dive into the universe, into the news of the Orville, and talk about what I think might be the hold up to getting that 4th season. But we'll go back, we'll talk about a little bit of the history of the Orville. Not too much, because I don't want long ass videos. Nobody wants long ass videos. I don't watch long ass videos. Do you guys watch long ass videos? I don't. I like short ass videos. Yes. Not only the heart, you have to have faith, Archmage Frey, of the Orville. It's been a long road getting from there to here. New Horizons. When it premieres, I'll drink a beer. I can't wait, you guys, but always have faith of the Orville. We did that from 2019 to 2022. We had faith of the Orville, and gee golly willikers, were we not rewarded for our patience? We sure were. I felt rewarded. The problem with such approach is that people lose interest. See, that constellation, well, let me finish what you wrote. TNG worked for 7 seasons mainly because it was released annually on a regular basis. In my humble opinion, they should announce season 4 ASAP. I think the exact opposite. Using the Orville as proof. We waited forever for season 3. A few years, like 3 years. That wait only hyped up the show and made people that much more interested to see it. I think one reason the numbers are so high is because of the wait. Waits also did not hurt Game of Thrones. It did not hurt The Sopranos. And this is a Game of Thrones situation, in my opinion. The show is bigger. I think it's more expensive than Game of Thrones. So it takes time to make something of this quality. Even if they had all... Hooray for you. If we had everything we needed just to keep filming the Orville, that's what they would have to do. They would have to film a season, and while it's being edited, film the next season throughout that whole time. And then, but I don't think that would work, because a lot of the people that are editing the show are also required to be there during the filming of the show, which is one reason the effects are so in tune with the stories, because they're there helping to create the filming side of it as well. T. Stoney, thank you so much for that $10 super chat. Hooray, hooray for you. And Jaloja, and every good Geloja deserves, in turn, another Geloja. Let's see if this works. It's delayed. Hold on. There we go. I had to wake up Bortus real quick. Took him a second to get around. Yeah, Sopranos went years between seasons, and people loved that. And Game of Thrones took forever, apparently. I don't watch Game of Thrones because I'm so sick of dragon stuff. Dragon shows, which people are now calling them. People are using the phrase dragon shows. And we all know what that means, isn't it? We're not talking about Smaug. He was a big fancy dragon, but Lord of the Rings I don't consider a dragon show. But dragon shows are pretty much dragon shows. And they got thrones in them. Calling around, I actually just canceled my subscription to Hulu. Plan to renew when we get more Orville. Or when the new season of Futurama is ready to watch. Oh, that is something I am looking forward to. I look forward to very few things except for the Orville. The Orville kind of ruined me on TV shows. Everything I watch, I'm like, it's all right. But I did watch She-Hulk, and I loved it. I thought it was so out of the box, so different than what Marvel's been doing. And their season finale was very much, almost literally out of the box. Definitely busted right through the fourth wall. And so I really enjoyed She-Hulk. I really enjoyed Love and Thunder, Thor Love and Thunder, because Marvel is starting to learn you got to have fun. You got to have a lot of fun with some of these, some of the content that they put out. They're getting a little too serious with some of their other stuff. So they're starting to have fun. I'm pretty much almost exclusively into cosmic Marvel Universe. Not the magic, not the military stuff, not the whatever the heck else they put out there. Cosmic Marvel is my favorite Marvel now. Even though She-Hulk isn't really cosmic, but it was fun. It's borrowing from that. But anyway, I got off on a tangent. Sopranos, Game of Thrones, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other shows out there. I don't even remember if Lost came out on time every single year. Things are just different now. Stuff coming out every single year, that's a prime time network type of deal. Old school television does that. New school television comes out when it's ready. And if it's not that expensive to make, it comes out quicker. But when it's really big, I mean, I would like to get the production numbers on how much it costs to make a single episode of the Orville. An entire season, I'm sure, is well beyond in-game numbers, right? Oh, we're talking about Hulu subscriptions. Jeff B says we will be letting Hulu go next month, sadly. See, I love Hulu. I've had Hulu for about a decade. Because that's where, if I'm ever in the mood to watch modern television episodes, I watch it on Hulu. I watch my Jeopardy on Hulu. They have great movies on Hulu, great shows. Though, I will say, and this is a little point against, just like a lot of other streaming services, like Netflix, they're getting a little pricey. That's why I canceled Netflix. I canceled Paramount. I canceled HBO Max, because they're all kind of pricey, especially when you add them together. I love Hulu, but Hulu is getting a little pricey. But luckily, Hulu gave me a great deal on Disney Plus. It was like $2.99 a month, just to have both, because I have both services. So I'm digging Disney Plus for just a few shows. I very rarely watch Disney Plus stuff. There's a lot of stuff people love on there, the Star Wars stuff, all the Marvel stuff, but now I pick and choose, and I very rarely find anything that piques my interest enough for me to click play. Especially since almost everything now that's quality that people are interested in are 10-hour seasons of a show. You have 8 or 10 hours, and so I'm starting it, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend that time. I have a hard time spending time watching television. I've told you guys this before. But yeah, Curtis Tate, right there. I just talked to Jessica about this the other day, about briefly get 1 month of Paramount Plus just so I could watch Ghosts. Ghosts is a great show. The British version and the American version are both great. I highly recommend Ghosts if you guys have access to it. Both of them. Watch them both. They're similar stories, but they have different things that happen on the British one and the American one. Different ghosts, different points of reference on the different shows. Totally recommend it, you guys. Medallion, we went backwards, thought we were escaping cable-like practices. Exactly. And speaking of this topic, going forward with this channel, because this is my main channel, this is the one that I can get ads on with YouTube and stuff. I have the Egotastic Fun Time channel. It doesn't have enough views in order to be monetized, and I'd have to keep putting up video after video that's not monetized in order to build that up. I'm thinking on this channel, some side topics I might be throwing up every once in a while. A whole different playlist of different topics that might be interesting, like this conversation about streaming services. I got lots of things to talk about when it comes to streaming services, lots of opinions and different things with society. I wouldn't mind doing a video talking about just one episode. I'm not going to follow any other series unless it's Orville related or close to Orville related. I wouldn't mind doing a video about Quantum Leap, the new Quantum Leap. I have opinions on that as well. A movie every once in a while, but you know, life. I like to talk about life. Society interests me more than anything else. Stuff that's going on in society, stuff that we take for granted or don't take for granted. All kinds of different stuff. So every once in a while I'll be throwing up some other videos here on this channel that hopefully you guys will like, but also lots of Orville stuff, always Orville stuff. I got a lot to say when it comes to that, but I want to find the perfect blend of fun, informative, and short topics that I can put videos up for. Curtis Tate, in my day we had 3 channels and we liked it. Yeah, it's just like when like you go to, like when I was young, I worked at Starbucks and there's a million things on the menu, and you know, a parent would come in with their kid. They're like, oh, what do you want? And they look at the menu. I'm like, it's too much stuff for a kid or even a person to choose between. You're never going to be fully happy with your choice, because you could have chose these 8 other things as well that might have been good, might have been good enough, might have been better. So we have so many choices these days that we can't never fully be happy with the thing that we choose, unless you get lucky. Jeff B says, like that, streaming services compete, but the expenses, I know you add them all up. Every single streaming service has at least that one show that you're like, damn, I want to watch that show. Everyone else is watching that show, or at least it feels that way. So you feel like you have to get every single one. Where now I'm feeling more like I'd rather have maybe 1 or 2 and then just rotate the third one to whatever service has a show that just came out or just finished, and I can go binge watch the whole thing. Instead of we just keep having them. Like Netflix. I canceled Netflix a month ago and I hardly miss it at all, you guys. At all. But I wrestled with it for a couple months. Should I cancel this? I've always had it. I've always had Netflix. So I was like, oh, I think it's just a habit. I was like, once I realized it's just a habit having it, then I got rid of it and I haven't missed it at all. I even forget that I don't have it. John Smith, I really think critics are being biased. Critics are always biased. Their main thing is getting you to click on whatever they're doing, their posts, their videos, whatever. They're just trying to get that click. So most of them in this day and age go negative, because negative gets the clicks. So I don't trust any critics. I don't even trust myself, because the way I feel about something I've watched all depends on my mood in the first place. What's up, Stu Parker? Hi, JP from New Zealand. Oh, cool. How's Mordor doing? Beautiful New Zealand. I would love to go there someday, but man, is it far away. I think it'd be easier to get to the moon than to get to New Zealand. Yes, Lewis Cox, renew the Orville. Archmage says, yeah, Gordon Ramsay always makes restaurants switch to a small one-sheet menu on his rescue show. Yes, he does. Because that works. The smaller the menu, the happier people are with their choices, because they didn't have too many choices to mull over. And it gives people, they can make their choices much quicker. You go to Cheesecake Factory, you're never going to be truly happy with what you order. And that's not even speaking of the quality of the food. What did Giant Freaking Robot say? If they said it's canceled, we're definitely getting a renewal. Yeah, that's true. I've seen so much junk over the years from that website. It's just all about having that scoop, whether you make it up or not. Oh, I know a guy who knows a guy who says, to the source, always to the source. Here, whenever we can, on this channel, whenever I can give you a scoop, it's because I talked to somebody directly from the Orville. Anything else is just speculation. And you guys know I love to speculate wildly. But I always make sure to let people know that I'm just speculating. John Smith, that was part 2 of another message. I went over the limit. I was saying Black Adam is good. I hear people say Black Adam is good. I've lost interest in those types of movies. Maybe if it comes to one of the streaming services, I'd probably watch it, but I don't feel compelled to actually go to a movie theater. But I hear a lot of people saying they liked Black Adam. The critics hate it, but that's what critics do nowadays. They go with whatever choice they feel might get more attention. So if they like something, it's only because they feel that will get them the attention. If they don't like something, aka 98% of the time, they feel that will get them the attention. Because there's so many critics. You got to compete. Just like with the streaming services, you got to compete. So they all got that one show that they feel everyone's going to want to watch. Oh, another thing about streaming service competition. So Disney, of course, for a couple of years now has owned the Orville, has owned Fox, has owned Hulu. Hulu is a Disney joint, you guys. The Orville is a Disney joint. We don't even know if there will be a Hulu in a couple of years. What if Disney Plus absorbs all of the Hulu content? So just so they could consolidate and not have to split all the revenues between the two different services. What if they just have the one service and it's worldwide? Because Hulu is Disney is worldwide. Hulu's an American thing. I don't know if there's going to be a Hulu. I don't know if they're in trouble or not. I doubt it. They got some great content. They got a lot of subscribers. They got, everyone loves that. Well, not everyone, but lots of people watch The Handmaid's Tale. I appreciate The Handmaid's Tale, but I can't watch it. Too dark for too long for me. And it's realistic. Some parts of the world do deal with the stuff that people deal with on A Handmaid's Tale. But just too dark. And like I said on Twitter, I think yesterday, an episode of Handmaid's Tale is 25% script and 75% sad reactionary shots. Just long shots of someone's reaction. They're absorbing whatever is happening. They're going crazy, and you can see them going crazy. And then later in the next episode, you see them becoming sane again, but then they go crazy again. I appreciate the message of the show. I just can't watch something that dark for that long. If I'm going to watch something dark, it's got to be movie length and not season length. Because I'm just a little empathetic person. I start feeling bad for people too much, and then I start feeling bad. Yeah, enough with superhero and multiverse movies already. I'm not over multiverse quite yet, but I am a little bit over superhero movies. It's all cut and paste, which is why I've appreciated a couple of different Marvel projects. Thor, I love Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, the new She-Hulk. They're just breaking the barriers, so I appreciate that. The cosmic world has gotten very rock and roll, which I think is a lot of fun. Colleen says, Hulu already made me change my password so I can use the same login across all Disney apps. Oh, is that what that is? I went on the Disney Plus app and they had some sort of message like that. So yeah, I feel that Hulu will get folded into Disney Plus at some point. I think it's a possibility, but I really know very little about the business side of things when it comes to those streaming services. But I do know it's very obvious that the Orville has gotten the numbers that it needs. And if we just keep engaging with the content, it'll just help solidify that. But I feel it could be possible that maybe they're just waiting for Seth to give the go ahead. He's got to get the stuff he owes NBC made so that he can go into 24/7 Orville mode. He loves the Orville. He wants a season 4. He's told audiences, he's told me directly. He wants another season. He's excited for it. And I think, but there is no Orville without him. Without Seth MacFarlane, I don't think there is such a thing as the Orville. It requires him. It needs him. Without him, we're just not going to get it. But we have to realize he is a man, just a human being. I don't know how he finds time to even go to sleep at night. He's got so much stuff he has to do with all these different productions and even stuff he's not in. He's producing. What's that Bill Nye show that's out? Cosmos. A couple other things out there. And then right now he's doing Ted. Probably doing 4 other things at the same time. But we know we need his focus for the Orville. So I think we're just waiting on him. Resident Alien is fun. I still have to watch the recent season of that. That is somewhat Orville related. Produced by Robert Duncan McNeil. Robert Duncan McNeil, of course, has directed a bunch of episodes of the Orville. So Resident Alien is a little bit Star Trek related, a little bit Orville related. Who Disney know what a gem and what long-term benefits, profits the Orville can bring if they support it. FKM, if they want to drag out this waiting game on the fans. I don't mind the waiting game at all, as long as we get the Orville. It'll all be worth it. And we had a waiting game for season 3 to find out if we're getting a season 3. And then it took forever to start season 3. And then it really took a long time when they had to stop production, wait a year, and then start production back up. I don't think they'll have to go through that this time. So I think there'll be a wait for the Orville, but not as long of a wait as we had between season 2 and season 3. There's a new Doctor Who tonight. I wish I was excited about it. I haven't watched Doctor Who in years. I was fine. I watched Doctor Who. I mean, of course, I've watched Doctor Who since 2005, but I stopped watching it a couple seasons ago, and I was still fine with the show, but I just didn't have time to keep caring about yet another show, so I stopped watching Doctor Who, but I still love it. I love it. Actually, I didn't even know they were still making it. Hey, you could talk about the Ted series here. Yeah, I talked to Scott Grimes about possibly doing the Ted talking about the Ted series here, Talking Ted, and he was real excited about it. So I might do that, and I bet I might be able to get a hold of the cast and crew, since I kind of have an in with the Orville crew. Fingers crossed on all of that. I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to give myself props that I have the power to do this or that, and then it turns out, nah, we don't have time, JP. So we'll see. I do plan on checking out the Ted series and definitely talking about it, because it's an Orville side project. I might end up with this channel just talking about anything, all the things that people are involved with that were on the Orville. All the actors and stuff, whatever they're coming out with in the future, I might just be talking about that. What I'm hearing is that it's time to clone Seth MacFarlane. I agree. We need to multiplicity him. Yeah, we need more Seth MacFarlane, that is for sure. But he can only do so much. I hope he doesn't break down someday from all the pressure of all of his projects. But he seems to be pretty smart. He hires people that can help him do the things that he wants to do. John Smith, we can play the waiting game and Hungry Hungry Hippos at the same time. Like Homer? Dope. I lost interest in Doctor Who in the last couple seasons. The writing and stories lost all the whimsical magic. Yeah, the whimsical magic, I think I lost the whimsical magic of the series in either one of the Capaldi seasons. It started looking like it looked too studio. It looked too glossy. It looked too finished, and I wasn't feeling the whimsical magic of it anymore, and I kind of started losing interest. Yeah, Nick a TNG transporter to duplicate him. Yeah, so we could have Seth MacFarlane, and we could have Wilbur MacFarlane. Yeah, the only person, I mean, they've made announcements with the Ted cast. I know Scott Grimes is in it. I know I read one or two names I didn't recognize, but I haven't really kept up on it. I know they started filming either at the beginning of September or late August. Did you get to see Strange New Worlds before you canceled Paramount? That show surprised me how good it ended up. It wasn't Orville good, but it was good for New Trek. I watched most of Strange New Worlds. Really enjoyed it. I'm really impressed, even though I can tell every time I see the series, see an episode. I'm really impressed with their set. They have this huge room-sized television that they use for all their backgrounds. So what you see on screen is exactly what the actors are seeing on screen when they're doing their acting. The stories were also fun, like that whole medieval fairy tale episode was a lot of fun. I didn't finish it though. I was never compelled to watch another a new episode each week because the Orville was on at that time as well. But I do plan on catching up with the one or two episodes I missed because I'm waiting for Ghosts on CBS to be finished airing all their episodes, and when they are, maybe they already are, I haven't looked into it, I'm going to get 1 month of Paramount just so I can watch Ghosts, and I'll catch up on a couple episodes and stuff. Maybe I'll catch up with Lower Decks, because I know there's a third season of that. That's another show I enjoy, but I have to be I'm very rarely in the mood to watch television anymore. The Orville ruined it for me. Nothing impresses me anymore, because A New Horizons was so damn good. Lower Decks has gotten really good. I've liked Lower Decks since episode 1, just because I got it. I got the joke of it, what they were trying to do, and it was a lot of fun. Like I said before, Lower Decks to me is like a ultimate fan-made series for Star Trek. It's all there. It's all stuff that hardcore fans would get, and stuff that other people would enjoy watching as well. Steeped in Light Photography says, what is the current status of contracts for Orville principals and the other cast and crew? I assume they've been let out of their contracts so that they can go do other stuff before they have to re-sign when it gets renewed for season 4. Which is a whole other reason it might be delayed as well, because they have to make new contracts for pretty much probably everyone at this point. One good thing, I talked to Jay Lee. Jay Lee, of course, is a writer and director. He makes his own films as well. Atypical Wednesday, I recommend it. He's, I believe, also making a sequel to that. He told me that he's got this film that he's making, but he scheduled it so that he can shoot it and be back for season 4 of the Orville, assuming there is one. I think there is one. I kind of just get a feeling from just people I've spoken to, just the way they look when they say certain things. I have a tingle that they kind of know that there's probably going to be a season 4, but of course they're playing the game of, oh, hope for season 4, fingers crossed, this is not. But I just feel, I don't know anything, I feel that they know it's internally renewed. But this is not a fact. If it gets repeated that that's a fact, it's a lie. If somebody hears what I say and then uses that as a fact to make whatever video or post they want to make, they don't know what they're talking about. This is not a scoop. It's not even a scoop of a behind the scenes scoop. This is just a tingle that I have. The Doctor Who 50th anniversary episode felt pretty final to me. I think I saw that in the theater. I just haven't gotten into many seasons or episodes after that one. 50th anniversary, was that a few years ago? And then they did the David Tennant with Matt Smith kind of crossover episode. If that's what that is, I saw that in the theater with one of those Fathom events thing. It was so awesome. I dug that, but it's kind of a fan, whatever they call that, just trying to get the fans to get excited. But it was great. Lower Decks is my fave new Trek project, says Medallion. I really enjoy Lower Decks as well. I think of it more of a Star Trek side project, though it's not. It's full-on new Star Trek. I enjoyed Picard. Not to the point where I like, oh god, I can't wait for the next season, but I enjoy Picard a lot because I'm very into human stories, going into the character stories. What else? Oh, I like Strange New Worlds. Even though I appreciate Discovery enough, I guess, it doesn't excite me that much. So I didn't even finish season 4. I just season 3 was the only season I truly enjoyed, and I was like, well, I enjoyed that. I don't want to watch any. I'm not super hungry to watch any more because I want to leave on a high note. But yeah, I didn't watch season 4. I watched the first episode and I was like, I'm not feeling it right now. Always plan on going back to see if I feel it. But I'm always happy that they went 1,000 years in the future, get as far away from any canon timelines that we know about. That was a good choice to do that. The 50th anniversary of Doctor Who was almost 9 years ago. That feels about right. Must have been great in a theater. And the 60th anniversary is coming up next November with Tennant. Oh, if it's not Tennant, what's the point? I don't need any other Doctors brought back except for David. A medallion. That's the reason why I can't enjoy Lower Decks, because it's an animated show. I can separate it from the mainline live action Trek canon. Yeah, I can separate it too. I mean, but I just don't care about canon as much anymore. I just want a good story. Because Legacy Star Trek, that's a whole other universe to me. The new shows can do whatever they want. It doesn't bother me at all. Because Legacy Trek is a whole other universe to me, and it's always going to be exactly what it is and how I remember it. Curtis Tate says, I quit Disco too. Yeah, I finally got one season of it that I liked, season 3. And I was like, I don't want to take any chances. I thought season 3 had some good stuff going on. They recently did an episode at DS9, and I'm a huge DS9 fan, so you can imagine I loved it. Like in the theater? Oh, the show, Lower Decks. Okay, I got you. They were bringing up a lot of DS9 stuff. Okay, I'm down for that. Prodigy has become one of my favorites too. Now that one, I watched the very first episode of Prodigy. I thought it was pretty damn decent, but it's definitely not my style of animation or style of characters. So I was like, I'm glad they're doing what they're doing and the way they're doing it, but it doesn't appeal to me as much. But of course, whoever likes it, I think that's awesome. I really enjoyed that it was very Voyager specific, because I'm a huge Voyager fan. I like Voyager even more than I like DS9. I'm TNG and Voyager Enterprise guy. So I really enjoyed all the Voyager stuff that I saw in that first episode. New Trek ought to be a different timeline, but they insist it's connected to the other older shows, which I have a problem with. I don't care what they insist. Doesn't matter to me what they insist. What matters to me is what I believe. Prodigy is really good once the main guy stops being so whiny. I don't think I got far enough to see any whininess, but I get it. Mr. Zedblade, what's going on? Prodigy gets so much better a few episodes in, as most shows do. But yeah, I thought they had something to work with, that one episode I saw. It wasn't just a reference about DS9. It took place on... Oh, that's cool. It had some characters from DS9 voiced by the original cast. I would love to see what DS9 looks like in animated form. DS9, the animated series. Been binge watching Voyager lately on DVD. Nice. And that's another reason, okay, not just Voyager, but Trek in general. Another reason I was like, I don't need Netflix. Netflix used to have all the Star Trek. It used to have all The Office. It had all Parks and Rec. It had all this stuff that I like to watch all the time. And then it was all gone because everybody has their own streaming service now. All the studios do. Even on Hulu, which I love Hulu. And I watch probably a little something every day, if not every other day. Stuff from NBC I've seen is been leaving Hulu last year. This year, they don't have Saturday Night Live anymore because Peacock's says, hey, give us our, I assume they're saying, hey, give us our stuff back, or the contracts are over and we're not going to renew contracts because we want that content on our streaming service. That's a competitor of yours. So yeah, a lot of NBC stuff, which is my favorite stuff when it comes to just a regular television. They're all on Peacock. Luckily I have Peacock because I enjoy it, but you know, all the shows that have stuff on other streaming services are taking their stuff off other streaming services to put it on their own streaming service. There's too many streaming services. The streaming wars are becoming a streaming bore. But yes, Voyager. I have a little bit of a harder time with the first season or two of Voyager. Not that it's not great, it's just I like it when the quality ups a little bit. They get a little bit farther away from the Kalon or whatever they're called. The Prodigy Kobayashi Maru episode is one of the best Trek episodes. I think I saw that episode. Another thing about binge watching is everything starts to run together. Except for a gag about admiring the pylons. Okay, I'm kind of getting interested to hurry up and get a month of Paramount. So I kind of want to watch Lower Decks now, you guys. Halloween going as sexy Lower Decks ensign. That's awesome. That's Irie, man. We need at least 7 seasons of the Orville. I would love that. The 90s kind of spoiled us when it comes to seasons of Star Trek, didn't it? 7 seasons. And then they took it away. They broke that rule. What's it called when it's that unspoken rule when they canceled Enterprise. Oh, and I was digging Enterprise so much during that season that they canceled it. And then we had a rushed finale. Ugh. A finale that would have made a great episode, but a horrible finale. Yeah. I read that one. Yeah, the Kazon are the lamest Voyager villains. Voyager, the designers of the show, or at least costume, decided, hey, let's make all the aliens have weird hair. Which I guess could happen. We don't know how aliens' hair is. The further away you get from Earth, we don't even know how aliens' hairdos are close to Earth, if there are any. But yeah, their hair was like, hey, let's just use a lot of hairspray. And it always stuck out to me. The Riker holodeck finale of Enterprise shudders. I love the episode, but I don't like it as a finale. Just as a little side episode, I think it was fine, because also in another episode they said they could have just had it be where, oh, the whole Trip dying thing, that was just what the holodeck, that's just the way the holodeck decided to go with that, to have you learn the lesson that it knew you wanted to learn. Because the holodecks, the programs they adapt, just like in the latest in the Orville book, Sympathy for the Devil, that came out a couple months ago. It deals with that very idea of a holodeck adapting itself. It's because it has an algorithm, and so even though you program it to have it be whatever you decide you want it to be, if it's left alone by itself and a human being is in there, it'll keep adapting itself to go along with whatever that human responds to. So in this case, in the Orville, in Sympathy for the Devil, the holodeck was left running for decades to raise up a person from birth, and the way it ends up adapting itself goes way off the rails than what was originally planned. Such a good story. If you have not seen the story, I don't know if it's in the no, it is. If you can get I think the link is in the description here. You can get a free trial of Audible, and with that free trial, you can choose to purchase for free the Audible version of the Orville's Sympathy for the Devil, read by Bruce Boxleitner, aka the president of the union. it was a great story. For the first hour or so of it, I forget that it's even an Orville story, and then all of a sudden it becomes an Orville story, and it's like, whoa! The fact that you forget, and then all of a sudden the Orville side of it starts going on. Oh, the story is so great, and it brings up some amazingly philosophical ideas about good and evil, and how do you feel about a person that's committed insane crimes against humanity, but really they didn't, because it all happened on a holodeck, and they have to figure this whole thing out. Amazing, absolutely amazing. If you haven't read the story, or at least heard the story by Bruce Boxleitner, which is my way of experiencing it, my favorite way, you gotta get it, you guys. Orville Nation, thank you so much. Sup, JP? Sometimes I think the Kazon were fashioned after Giorgio A. Tsoukalos from Ancient Aliens. I probably murdered that last name. But Giorgio, I got that part. Giorgio A.
Hooray! Hooray for you! Hooray!
Hooray! Hooray for you, Orville Nation. Avi says, huge crush on Kelly. I know what's next on the ship. I think Anaya would come up and fight with Dad Seth. Yes, season 4. We need a follow up on Anaya, Captain Mercer's daughter. We need an update on. I want an update on Priya. I want to see Priya again, because they mentioned that in the episode Priya at the very end, that we might see her again, but things will be different because her timeline got changed. I want to update on that. I want to update on all the love, all the people that are looking for love on the Orville. Tala is looking for love. John is looking for love. Gordon is looking for love. He had an amazing love story, but now he doesn't even know about it because they got him, a few months after he landed on Earth back in 2015. So none of that ever happened. So I'm sure the Gordon that we know is looking for love in all the wrong places. The guy with the tall hair, JP. Like the singer to Static X, he had tall hair. Is such a thing even possible? Yes, it is. I didn't like it for a start, but the end is great. You have to stick it out for the end. Bruce is fantastic. He did a great job, and you can kind of hear Bruce Boxleitner trying to do ever so slight impressions of the different characters of Gordon, of Ed, of Kelly. And he does a great job. He doesn't go too far where it's cartoony. No, it's great. It's a good reading. Dan is looking for love. Oh, another thing. Yaphet, knowing that Norm Macdonald will not be there for season 4, what do they do with Yaphet? Does he split and become 2 different jellies? And each one has different voice now because it's not Yaphet, it's just pieces of Yaphet? Behind the scenes, nearly all the actors are hooking up. Maybe, I don't know. Especially Seth. I doubt it. I went and saw everybody. I met everybody. Every single person of the Orville. And I didn't see any improprieties. But I do follow them all. And most of them have relationships. Some are married. Some have their significant others. Or their recent significant others. Yes, we do need a Dan episode in season 4. I thought we might get one in season 3. We did not. We barely got any Dan at all. Just a couple of wows and a couple of sweet emotions over here and there, but nothing really formidable going on about that character. Yeah, you got drops the Yaphet. Yeah, Yaphet's a cool guy. He is a cool guy. Also, we don't have a full conclusion on the sanctuary stuff with Havina. The Mocklins, now that the Mocklins are out of the Union and the Mocklins are now with the Krill, and they probably think they got the big boy britches on, now that they have an alliance with the Krill, who are pretty damn powerful. What are they going to do with that sanctuary? That sanctuary goes against everything with them. They hate the sanctuary. With or without the Union, they are not for that sanctuary at all. No female Mocklins. What do they do? That goes beyond everything for the Mocklins, because they're bigots and they're idiots. And what do? Do they try to annihilate the sanctuary? They figured, all these female and outliers live on the sanctuary. What if we just destroy the whole planet? I know we got the Union is protecting the sanctuary now officially, but that doesn't mean the Mocklins aren't going to keep trying to have that be one of their main targets. I want to know about that. Let's get caught up with the Biodome people. The Bioship, not Biodome. Well, there's a dome. The Bioship people from If the Stars Should Appear. I would love to find out what their whole culture has turned into, knowing now that they're on a ship in space. That deserves a follow-up. Isaac is my favorite. He should get a soul. Speaking of the Kalon, I just thought about this yesterday. K1. We know, Isaac is now in contact. He's friends with the Kalon now. He's back in the fold. But we never saw K1. What does K1 think about the whole alliance with the Kalon, you guys? I want to see what he thinks. How is he helping the Kalon learn more about humanity and, having feelings and remorse, all that stuff? Just because the Kalon are now on our side does not mean they feel at all remorse for all that murdering they did back in the day. If we get a season 4, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Havina in there. We're not done with her. She is captured, but she was captured before. We had her in custody back in season 1 after the Krill episode. She escaped with the help of some Xeno whatever from Union people, xenoanthropologists. They helped her escape. That's how she returned. Krill have the Choctaw spelling on one border and the spider demons on the other, not to mention the Kalon Union alliance, so they're kind of in a hard spot. Exactly. But what about the Caliban? Would the Caliban side with the Krill, the Mock Krills, or would they side with the Union? I don't think they would. The Caliban would side with the Union. So what if the Mock Krill are able to convince the Caliban to join them? That is going to be a hardcore enemy alliance against the Union. We were supposed to have the Caliban in New Horizons in Sympathy for the Devil. We would have seen the Caliban, I believe, probably in a flashback for that episode, because that did have Caliban stuff going on in the book. So we would have had the Caliban in season 3, but weren't able to make the episode, unfortunately. Avi says, Kalon has got a good lesson when Primary saw the sacrifice on Krill Planet. That's true. Charlie, they got a good lesson from Charlie. Charlie putting, who does not have infinite lives, she's mortal, putting herself, her life on the line for the Kalon, for others. And of course we saw Primary kind of observe that happening. He learned a lesson. He didn't understand. It had to be explained to him. Kalon Union membership is provisional. Exactly. Sound familiar? DS9 provisional government. Yeah, the Kalon, I think they're going to learn to not want to leave the Union. But even when they joined it, they said, oh, we'll figure this out. And we'll figure out how your weapon works, and we'll use it against you. But we kind of feel like we are being not bribed, but forced to be in the Union. But I think they have learned their lesson enough to know, hey, we want to be part of the Union. At least it felt that way in that final meeting between the Kalon and the Planetary Union admirals. But that doesn't mean something won't happen that changes their mind. Everything is in flux, as Isaac and John would say. I love Charlie. A lot of people don't like Charlie, but I understood her character, the purpose of her character right off from the beginning. She was there to be a bridge between what happened in Identity Part 2, the attack battle for Earth, and the unions, a lot of the unions' emotions, because they all felt betrayed. They don't feel comfortable with Isaac because he's a Kalon. Kalon's the big enemy. She was there, and all the people that died, all the loss. She was there to represent all of that side of the union, but she had a great arc. She learned how to move on, how to see the other side. So a great lesson was learned. I would like Archmage, good point. Archmage says we also need a follow-up to Multiverse of Malloy. Completely agree. Now they fixed the whole time paradox that would have been created if they picked up Gordon too earlier than when he sent the message for them to even know that he was lost in time. So they fixed that in the new edit that you will now see on Disney Plus and Hulu if you watch twice in a lifetime. But when Gordon was blasted, presumably through time, at least one version of him got blasted back in time. He got split into like 6 different Gordons. I assume there are 6 different Gordons blasted back somewhere in time, not even necessarily 2015, but any type of year that Gordon could have been thinking about. There could be a Gordon that landed when Indiana Jones movie came out, because he thinks about that stuff too. You never know. But there's probably a lot of Gordons in a lot of different years, going back to the 80s to now, right? Because he's always thinking about modern day stuff when it comes to our own culture. Dominus Ex Machina, thank you so much for that super chat. Would love to see the Orville do their own rendition of interdimensional adventures, like a crazy half animated, half live action Orville New Horizons / Rick and Morty crossover. Anything that's time or multiverse related, I'm all about. And yeah, the Orville, I would love to do more time travel stuff. Time travel has been played with in the Orville since season 1. I would think in the 4th season they would even have a bigger time travel adventure than we did with Gordon. I would love to go back like with Priya. Priya was a time travel thing. She's out of time. She's from the 29th century. What if we ran into her again and she has no memory? She has a whole different life. She's a whole different person. She doesn't steal people from time and auction off their ships for money. Maybe she's a hardcore villain. Maybe she's just a really nice person. Maybe Ed tries to go out with her. Also, we need to follow up on what's going on with Ed and Kelly. The whole premise that started off the series was them being exes and having to work together. And then at the end, we see not literal proof, but hey, things might work out between them when she held his hand during the speech at Isaac and Claire's wedding. Did they really get together, or were they just having a nice little moment? Hey, we're friends. We're friends. We love each other. But we ain't going to be knocking boots. Maybe they are knocking boots in season 4. Maybe they try it out for a little while, but it starts to get too scary when he does have to order her to her death. Which is what Kelly's whole problem with them being in a relationship together was all about. How does that work out? Are they actually married in season 4 and they're now an actual husband and wife team? How does that work out? Is it a problem at all? We need to know, and we need a 4th season in order to find out, you guys. Ed and Kelly will have a son. Yes, will Anaya be part of will they get Anaya back, and Anaya has a full human brother, a sibling? Will Anaya be part of the show? Will she, just like Ty and Marcus are part of the show? All I know is I don't want to show up on season 4 and just have her there. I want to fight. I want to see the fight to get her back. maybe the whole season. It'll be a storyline they play with throughout the whole season. And then in the finale, Ed finally gets Anaya. That thing could be dragged out. There's a lot of stuff going on. Talia can escape. Oh my gosh, she escaped. That's a whole story right there. She's in power again. That's a whole story right there. People turned against her. That's a whole story right there. I could do a whole season of Talia and the Krill, you guys, and Anaya. And then that season maybe ends with another child being born. I want them to fulfill the Lysella promise. That would be a great follow-up. We learned the lesson about what happens when you get technology too fast. When you give a society replicators and all that stuff, and they're not ready for it. They didn't naturally evolve their society to be ready for such a thing, aka social media. We're not ready for social media, but we have it. Will it destroy our culture? It might. It's 60-40 right now. 60 going for destruction, but maybe we'll pull it out. Maybe we'll come back from not knowing anything because we know too much and we're not ready for it. I'm talking to you, Twitter. I'm talking to you, Facebook, especially. John Smith. Disney owns Marvel, which has introduced the multiverse, which made Sony Spider-Man and Fox X-Men canon to the MCU. Though the logic, the Orville is now a universe within the multiverse, which means all. Yes, the Orville, their timeline changed back in season 1, episode 5, Priya. They were supposed to be destroyed. That's why Priya was there to take their ship, drop them all off in the 29th century, sell the ship. The Orville was supposed to be destroyed. The crew was supposed to be dead, but that was all undone when they found out what Priya was doing. And they escaped being sold to the 29th century. Everything has been a new timeline since that episode. What? But also there's different philosophies. You could be no matter what happens on the timeline, it's part of the timeline. So if someone goes back in time, that's supposed to be part of the timeline, is them going back in time to 1985 to make sure your parents get back together. That's part of the timeline now. Or it shoots off a whole new timeline. Kind of a whole new timeline type of guy. But also, I'm also I wouldn't do what they wanted Gordon to do. I wouldn't hide and try to interact as little as possible with the time that I've been in. I'm part of this timeline now. Whatever happens, happens. Oh, well, take that, Union, and your stupid rules. Remember Paul, after transformation, said he will leave Doctor on temporary purposes. Talking about Admiral Paul, whatever his name was. I can't remember his last name right now. The spider people, though. Yeah, what's up? Someone said, talking about the spider people on one side and the Choctaw on the other side when it comes to the Krill. What about the Choctaw? Does the Choctaw become enemies of both the Union and the Mock Krill? Or does the Choctaw side with the Union, become part of the Union just to spite the Krill? I don't think they like the Krill very much. They might do that. They would bring Avis back. I would love to actually see a live version of Avis in the environmental simulator. What if they have one? I'm sure the Krill probably have simulators. I'm sure if they did, they would have one, a program with Avis in it, right? So happy they used Adrian's John Wick background to set up a kick-ass action scene for her. She got a couple. I love they got new kick-ass uniforms for when you're going to be punching people in season 3. They got these tactical uniforms. They look pretty dang awesome. Avis will be a clone. Attack of the Clones. Time travel equals Avis back. Yeah, what goes on with the time travel? The only reason we didn't use the anti-banana ray to get back in time to pick up Gordon is because it was destroyed and it needed 6 months to be rebuilt. I'm sure that 6 months has passed by the time we get to season 4. and we have a fresh, brand new 2.0 anti-banana ray time travel device built into the ship, so the ship can time travel whenever it wants. I would love season 4 to be nothing but time travel stuff. I know we've all decided Shatner as Avis, but I kind of want Jeff Goldblum to play him now. Yeah, there's so many awesome people that can play an Avis, but I'd have to really get a good feel for who should play Avis. I need to see Avis beyond statue form. Unless they just get Dolly Parton to play Avis as well. It's a reference to Kalos from TNG. They brought him back because they cloned him. Oh yeah, I remember that. Isaac would also have a son. Yes, that's another thing. Do Isaac and Claire try to have a child in some way, some form? How does that work? Isaac with a baby. Even if she decides to get a sperm donor so they can have a baby, it would be a human baby. What would Isaac be like with a human baby? Also, Isaac related. Obviously, they used it in Twice in a Lifetime. He has the holographic emitter, the portable one. So do we get less robot Isaac in season 4, and they start having Mark Jackson just play the role without all the gear on? Does he get to wear a regular uniform? Also, I'm sure the uniforms will look a little bit different in season 4. They like to update things. Also, will season 4 even be filmed at the Fox lot? Will they I don't think they would bring it. I don't think that they would film in like Canada or Atlanta or anything like that, because Seth, I think, really needs to be in Los Angeles in order to do all the work that he has to do and all the stuff he has to do. But will they still stay at the Fox studio, lot 15, 17? Gosh, they've used so many different studios over the years for different types of scenes. I think they used 1911 at one point. But the main ship was on the main the bridge, I believe, was on lot 15. And will they put it all back together in some other studio? There's that whole studio that Picard uses, which I believe they're done with now, because season 3 has already been completely filmed as of 5-6 months ago. So they're probably not. Picard's probably not at that Disney lot anymore, or wherever they were filming. Will they move the Orville there, or will they stay on the Fox lot? Because of course that's Disney as well. That's all owned by Disney. Hard to say. But I think if you saw a lot of changes from season 2 to season 3, I think there'll probably be even more changes. I could see it as being a possibility to season 4 from season 3. All positive changes, of course. Another thing I'm doing with this channel is I'm trying to update everything, the visual effects. I got my nice camera hooked up again for these live shows. As you saw at the very beginning of this live stream, the opening countdown has season 3 footage in it. I'm trying to update everything to season 3 and beyond, including our Orville fans. We got some Orville fans out there. I think there's a link below if you want to get the hat. That is available as a hat and a shirt, actually. What would your idea for an Orville movie be? A huge time travel, a huge time travel thing, a storyline that is all about making sure the Union gets formed. So we'll go back to the very beginning of when the Union was almost formed. It wasn't quite there yet. Making sure that happens because it's in danger. The Krill finally got they figured out how to make their own anti-banana ray time travel device, and they put all of the future of the Union at risk, and we have to save the future. The Orville save the future. That would be my bid, my vote for an Orville movie. But I've always heard, ever since the beginning, Seth talking about doing a couple of Orville movies. Save the Future 2. Save the Future 3. They go back to the Wild West. Real this time.
What do you want to play?
Echo, stop. AI, am I right, you guys? Will this episode take place in the simulator? I would say, for me, no. It'll all be wherever they go, they're really there. Do you think NASA should enter with ideas as well? Only if they're good ideas. Yeah, save the cheerleader, save the union. The good things don't last in Hollywood. I can see that. Things that last are easy. They're just easy to watch. They basically show up in front of you. You didn't even try to watch them. They're just there. I have lost my mind in the Orville series. I'm glued beyond quantum. Heck yeah, the Orville, it's the only thing that impresses me anymore. If it's not at Orville level, when it comes to action and sci-fi and all that stuff, then I am, I mean, you know, maybe it'll be a year or two when I've lowered my expectations of what other sci-fi shows do. But even by then, we'll have more seasons of the Orville as well. You remember 6 seasons in a movie for the Orville. We demand 10 seasons into trilogy. Yes, I like that idea even better, John Smith. Yep, treat your AI nicely. You never know. Yeah, Hollywood. Everything's so cookie cutter. TV shows are just usually so cookie cutter now. There's some good shows out there, but are they worth it? Are they really worth? Our time on this planet is so short. Are we going to spend the time that we got just watching random stuff, or just save that important time of your life for important shows that are an important experience that teaches you something, makes you think? Or are we just wasting time until we die? It's something all of us have to think about, I guess. I've been thinking about it, so I've been watching less stuff. I'll binge watch comedies, comedy TV shows before I go to bed until I fall asleep. But throughout the day, I don't watch TV at all. But you know, with me, I think a lot of us probably do this. We just watch stuff that makes us feel good. I watch over and over again. I watch The Office, Parks and Recreation, Superstore, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, basically Michael Schur produced shows, basically. And I just do that over and over again. And then when I want to really, really watch something new, I have to find something that really tickles my fancy, which for me, and the life that I've been adapting to or moving towards, I don't find stuff that really makes me think, oh, this is worth what little time I have on this planet to watch. Sometimes I watched She-Hulk, but I did that, one episode a week. Not so bad. Had some fun, and then I just turned it off. There's nothing else that Disney Plus had to watch that I wanted to watch except for the Orville. We should bring someone from Orville in here. Could we do that? I want Bordis here or Kelly. I've talked to all of them. I got interviews with all of them on my video playlist. But here right now, no. Unless somebody's got access, tell them to come on. But actually, we're going to be stopping this live show here in just a minute. We did an hour and a half. Yeah, right now, Jessica and I are binge watching again Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We both love all those shows, all those Michael Schur shows. Oh yeah, What We Do in the Shadows is a great show. That one I do watch, but of course, just watch, that season's over, so I'm not even thinking about it right now. But yeah, if you guys don't watch What We Do in the Shadows, you're missing out. Highly recommend. All right, you guys, I'm gonna be taking off here. I got a bunch of videos I'm gonna try to make this week. Trying to get as many videos out this week before the month is over. Just got another week or so in order to do that. And I'm I'm excited to see what I'm able to put out for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. If you want to help support my wedding fundraiser, trying to build up enough money so we can actually afford to be in Vegas while we're in Vegas, so we can get some meals and stuff while we're there for a week. The link is down below. All the support links are down below. I want to thank you guys for this wonderful conversation about my favorite show and the show that leads this community that we've created here together. And I'll see you very soon. Yes, I will say hi to Jessica from all of you guys that want to say hello. She's just right on the other side of this wall right now. And I'll see you guys very soon, hopefully tomorrow. And I hope all your times are Orville-tastic fun times, and we all do better when we all do better. Love you. Bye-bye.